Wagwan, welcome back to my channel, guys. It is your girl Sashelle, and welcome back to our hair porosity series, where I tell you all about hair porosity and how porosity affects the health of your hair and what can you do about your hair porosity, because basically you can't change what God has made you with, but how you can make it work for you. That is all the information that I'm giving you in this series, guys. So if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. If you are new to the family, join the family. We have an awesome family here, guys. Now today, guys, I'm gonna go in with medium porosity hair. What is medium porosity hair, the characteristics of medium porosity hair, and what you should and should not do when you have medium porosity hair. So if that is something that is of interest to you, just stay on into the video. So thank God for medium porosity hair, because medium porosity hair is that type of hair that requires the less maintenance. Thank you, Jesus. And why is that so, guys? So like high porosity hair, which the cuticles are very separated and they're opened and all of that, causing a lot of moisture to come in, or low porosity hair, which basically has very tight cuticles, they are very close together, allowing less moisture to come in. Then you have medium porosity, which is in the middle of this whole saga. And in medium porosity hair, you have not too much and not too little moisture going inside of the hair, so the hair gets to absorb as much moisture and as much hydration as is possible. That leaves the hair in its best state as it releases moisture and moisture retention. And just because the cuticles are not opened up and are not too close together, then you find that persons with medium porosity hair does not lose moisture that much, so their hair retains sufficient moisture and it does not lose a lot of moisture at the same time. Now remember that we can't stop moisture from escaping from our hair, because that depends on where we are, if we're outside, if we're inside, the type of weather that we live in and all of that, the types of products that we're adding to your hair and all of that. So moisture loss is inevitable, but when you have normal porosity or medium porosity hair, not much of the moisture is escaping. Of course, you know that porosity change, as we have mentioned in the past 2 videos. So if you are chemically processed, if you dye your hair, you bleach your hair, if you have gone through damage, and if you use a lot of heat styling tools, all of this can alter the porosity of your hair. So of course, you can be born with normal porosity and it changes to high porosity or low porosity. But basically, in the hair, on the hair chart, medium porosity hair is requires the least maintenance and is most likely to be healthier because of the balance between getting moisture and moisture retention. So for these types of hair, you can have like a protein regimen where you can probably go once a month or every time you get your relaxer. So you want to include protein in your regimen, but you don't want to go too much on the protein, because it's not like all of it's going to be absorbed or released, but you're gonna have a bit more that is absorbed and a bit might be staying on the hair and all of that. So you want to be careful on the amount of protein, just to prevent protein overload. But then for these types of hair, you can do your regular moisturizing and sealing probably 1 to 3 times a week. Ensure that you use your creams, or you can use your cream base and your butters, or you can use lighter moisturizers based on the type of your hair. I think for this now, when you have normal porosity hair, it all depends on your hair type in terms of the strands, the amount of strands that you have. So for persons who have denser hair, will be able to basically absorb more moisture in their hair without it looking weighed down, because it can stand up to the amount of moisture that is put in. But if you have normal porosity with finer strands, then you might want to go lighter on the moisture products, because then you don't want your hair to be weighed down too much, because when you have finer strands, your hair can be easily weighed down than persons with denser hair. So you want to be mindful of that. You also want to minimize your heat, which is straight across the board for all hair types, and use a heat protectant if you're gonna actually you go ahead and use heat on your hair. You can go in with your regular deep conditioning, like your regular deep conditioning, moisture based deep conditioning, and then occasionally you can go in and you can do your protein based deep conditioning. But don't make protein for no type of hair. Do you want to make protein a daily regimen? Like, you don't want protein based product as a part of your daily regimen. So of course these types of hair won't be too dry, not too brittle that it will break and it will shed and will break easily through manipulation, and it won't be that it is completely weighed down and looks very heavy and very shiny and very full of product as low porosity hair. But your hair will be in the state where it's not too dry and does not look overly moisturized or weighed down, but it is in the state where your hair looks moisturized but it's not packed with oils, because oily and moisturized is two different things. So your hair will have that sheen, it will look moisturizing, but it won't look like heavily packed with products, and it won't be too dry like hair, and like if you're combing it, it's pulling out and it is shedding excessively. So that is what medium or normal porosity hair looks like. So guys, remember, understanding porosity is just one part of understanding healthy hair and getting your hair to healthier hair, but there is a ton of other factors that determine the health and the state of your hair. But first and foremost, we want to get this part out of the way. So guys, if you are unaware of whether you have high porosity hair, medium porosity hair, or low porosity hair, and you're still unclear as to where you fall on that spectrum, did you know that they actually have some porosity tests that you can go ahead and try out to determine your true porosity? Yes, they are. So I'm gonna go ahead, and in my next video we're gonna go into porosity testing. I'm gonna tell you where I feel my personal hair is, what porosity my hair is, and then we're gonna go in with the strand tests, and we're gonna go in and see if I was true about my hair porosity, and also show you guys how you can test your porosity, or even if these tests are accurate. So this video will be uploaded after this one, so stay tuned. If you haven't already checked out high porosity hair, it will be right here, and low porosity hair will be right here, guys. Don't forget to subscribe right here, and I'll see you next time. Toodles!